are. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our live stream at AMP by Strathmore. I'm Heather Petro, and this is my incredible collaborator, Mila Henry. We are welcoming you today from a bar area right outside where we will be performing shortly and recording. We thought we would set a little bit of a festive tone for you today, something that we've all missed doing, right, at different times. So we are so pleased to have with us today on a very small screen, maybe on the first slightly closer here, Cecilia Livingston, who is a composer in residence at Glyndebourne Opera, as well as doing many other professional activities as a composer and really making her mark in the contemporary music scene. So welcome, Cecilia. We're so happy to have you. And I'm incredibly lucky to have my collaborator again, Mila, here from the American Opera Project, who's also been so important in this project. And we're just going to do a little chat about how Mila and Cecilia met, first of all, and then how the project evolved from there. So Mila, do you want to tell us a little bit about that to start?
Sure, yeah. Well, Cecilia was one of our composer fellows in AOT's Composers in the Voice program a few years back, I think in 2015, if I'm correct, if I'm remembering correctly. And we got to work together there. I was one of the music director and pianists, and Cecilia got to write a different song for a different voice type every month, essentially. And so we met there, and when Heather and I were planning this program, we were brainstorming composers and rec that we really related to and really liked. And I first thought of a piece that Cecilia wrote during her time at CMB called Calypso. And so that started us, I sent it to Heather, and that started our investigative journey into some of Cecilia's other music. And that led us to the song Melody. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I don't know, Cecilia, if you want to add anything to that story.
It's really interesting to me that sort of the touch point was remembering Calypso, which is one of my favorite pieces that I wrote during my time at AOP. And definitely kind of makes a really interesting pair with Penelope, which I wrote before. And I didn't really realize the pairing actually until another singer pointed that out to me a couple of years later. It was definitely an action. So I think, taking those two and then turning them into a sort of batch of portraits of different, characters.
Totally, I definitely heard a parallel. And it's funny because when we found Penelope, I actually had that thought, like, wait, was Cecilia working on a larger set with all of these? So yeah, it was really fun to kind of, and to imagine where that, those two characters might go, and if there are any more to add. But I love that idea of understanding it. How's the volume? Should we ask the audience if they can hear?
Can you hear us okay out there, everyone? Can you hear Cecilia? Send us a message if you can't hear. How about that? Or give us a thumbs up if you can hear. This is our first time doing this, so we're incredibly open to feedback. And again, just related to that, kind of talking about the Penelope song is the one we're going to be recording this afternoon and morning, as well as part of our live stream. The character of Penelope, again, is one that really has spoken to me as I've been singing the lyrics of this song, in that you'll hear later it's talking about waiting, for something, waiting for someone. And that was something that I thought a lot of people could relate to right now, waiting for a vaccine, waiting for news of somebody that we don't know about, if they're positive or negative right now for COVID. And so
the same space or the same, your home or your apartment.
Yeah, just waiting a lot for life to go back to some semblance of normal. So it really spoke to me in that way, but also just with the idea of a woman, and a woman character kind of feeling, just powerless in some ways, to do anything to help this situation. That's something that I think as a woman, it's sometimes a struggle. So really just grateful to have that piece included today and to have our composer live. She actually came into our rehearsal yesterday too and was part of the rehearsal process, and they gave us the okay. We're doing it all okay. And we were talking about some of her favorite spots in the piece too, which were really interesting to me. And she's also, of course, in the middle of lots of other pieces too, which I was wondering, Cecilia, if you could tell us a little bit about some of the other pieces and ways they are similar. You were talking about to Penelope, but there's another technique coming out and a darkening of the pieces of projects you're working on?
Yeah, for sure. I've just finished up with now, thank you, COVID. We just did a workshop for a software commission. The commission came from a trio called the Universe. She's kind of two artists from Canada and artists from the States. And they commissioned me to write a 20-minute song cycle for two sopranos and pianos. And the text is created by she wrote so we created this 20-minute song cycle with 3 female characters, all real women.
We'll go up for volume.
Contemporary with comedy.
We're about bigger volume now.
For each artist to dive just into the 20th century form.
Cecilia, can you speak a little louder? Sorry to interrupt. Can you speak a little bit louder? Some people can't hear you at home. It's our fault. It's our tech thing. If you can speak up a little bit, that might help.
Is this better to people who were struggling before?
How's that?
Yes, and you don't do my
Live stream.
Continue and give me a thumbs up.
Okay. Great. Yeah, we can do
Things
this
we're
research.
talking about during our first lesson today, which was change of technique. I think here is what I'm doing is simple to jazz influences and strong and development. But the subject material is actually much darker. And I think it's sort of emotional images that you want to water and water. So really just to hear some of the threads that I think really pick up on some of these. I'm really interested to hear that that's become a bit of a through line in working part of this very latest cycle. But within this much, much darker subject matter efforts to all thoughts and those as well. So kind of the musical language is continuing that I feel like it's changing, shaping, able to take on more with
Wow. And just for those at home, we apologize that it could be a little bit hard to hear that, but Cecilia was just referencing a lot of the jazz influence on her music right now, and that's something that I think you'll be able to hear when we start doing the actual singing and playing in a little bit. So thanks all for your comments too, by the way. I know it's the volume and hard to get this, but we're still delighted that she's here, and we'll try to translate as much of what she is saying to you in her words as well throughout. It's our very first time, and you guys are amazing. Thanks for your support at home, letting us know. We're doing the best we can. So back to you, Cecilia, too. And again, we'll share this as we talk about your musical influences and maybe other composers that have influenced you. That's something that a lot of our program looks at, which is comparing women's pieces sometimes to maybe the more well-known counterparts, male composers who we have heard of. Sadly, we wish we hear more composers that are women. But do you have influences, particular composers that you have been referenced to, or that you think your music is sort of influenced by?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it can be quite surprising to hear from other people. Some of us are.
Yeah.
They are things that I recognize. But I've definitely heard people connect what I do to
Benjamin Britten. Yep. Chopin. Wow. Debussy.
Yeah, I hear some Chopin and Debussy in the piano.
Yep.
It's really cool because there's so much jazz influences and kind of an improvisatory feel. But then I also hear like the Chopin, piano cadenzas as well. So definitely.
Yeah, we were doing a Boulanger piece as well immediately after your piece, and we're like, there's so many parallels here too. Lily Boulanger, yeah. That's great.
Very spooky. I mean, the American song was huge.
American song, yeah.
Playing through it, playing around there.
Yeah.
It wasn't really part of the whole training. Looking into university days and just sort of fell along that.
Wow. We also heard, I heard the first time I heard it, I could have sworn it was some Sondheim. I don't know if anybody's familiar with his show Passion. And maybe it's also the emotional impact of it, that the show is about passion and sort of the levels of passion, healthy and unhealthy as well. And that sort of is reflected, I think, in Penelope too. You know, she has all of these very intense feelings and is dealing with them. And Sondheim seems to approach that dark side of our experiences with love as well in that show. So I think it was both musical but also thematic. It's interesting where the two cross kind of as a performer, you know, that you're both living in the music but also in the drama of the piece. So, and that's something you do as an opera composer as well. We were talking a little bit about your residency at Limebourne. What's that been like for you? And what are some pieces or things that you're in development with there?
Then an amazing opportunity, and thanks for
Yeah.